It's 2024, and yes, this is still how sugar is loaded onto ships in most ports that handle them. A lot of you may be surprised, or even criticize, that this method is inefficient and would benefit from automation. And I'll be the first one to say that you are right. Automation will decrease the turnaround time and give ships more business. But there are two sides to this story, and I'll tell you all about it in this episode. Our ship's previous cargo was unmilled rice, which we have loaded from Brazil. We have discharged the first parcel in El Salvador and the second parcel in Puerto Quetzal, in Guatemala. As you can see, the cargo operations are quite slow, but that's just how it is when using cranes and grabs. It took around 2 weeks to completely discharge the full cargo. Plus the time that the ship spent waiting at anchor, that's almost a month spent in the port area. But as I said in the previous episode, the ship doesn't necessarily lose money in this, as the charter party holds and the ship gets paid for the duration of the voyage. The long port stays are already taken into account before the contract was even signed. And as it turned out, our next loading port was still going to be here in Puerto Quetzal to load bagged sugar. But before we can proceed, our ship will need to go offshore and clean the cargo holds. Grain cargo leaves a lot of dust and some remaining cargo residue. It's not as difficult to remove compared to cargo like coal, but it would still require some amount of work. Cleaning the cargo holds mostly requires water washing, first by using seawater, and then rinsing with fresh water to ensure there won't be any salt building up. After that, collecting the residue and then drying up. This operation will take a few days to complete, which means our ship will be offshore for the entire duration. In times like these, when the ship is offshore, cell phone signals won't reach the ship, meaning there won't be any internet access. For seafarers nowadays, staying connected is not just a convenience, it's a lifeline. That is where Inmarsat's Fleet Hotspot comes in. Fleet Hotspot keeps seafarers connected to their loved ones, whether through video calls or messages, no matter where they are. Beyond communication, it enables them to document and share their journeys, from breathtaking ocean sunsets to the playful dolphins that swim alongside their ship. And in the quiet moments, Fleet Hotspot helps seafarers maintain their mental health by providing access to music, entertainment, and moments of peace online. And for this month of September, Inmarsat Fleet Hotspot has a special promo offering discounted rates. Just visit their website, then register to enjoy the privileges. At sea, life moves to the rhythm of the waves, but with Inmarsat's Fleet Hotspot, seafarers stay connected, grounded, and supported, no matter how far they roam. Eventually, the cargo hold cleaning was completed, and it was time to enter port once again. As you can see in this port, this is the method they use to load bagged sugar. Manually stacking the bags into slings and then lifted by the crane into the cargo holds. Down in the holds, there are stevedores who manually arrange the bags into neat piles. It's a tedious process, but that's the only option they have in this port to carry out the loading operations. As I mentioned earlier, it might look inefficient to a lot of people, but keep in mind, not all countries can afford to invest in state-of-the-art equipment. They have to make the most of what they have, and for them, this is the best they could get at present. And in a lot of ways, it provides their economy with some semblance of sustainability. Loading this much cargo will take around 2 weeks. That's a fairly long time for ships to stay in port. But since mental health is quite big nowadays in the maritime industry, long port stays such as this provide the crew with a lot of advantages, like continuous high-speed and affordable internet access, the opportunity to go on shore leave and enjoy what the place has to offer, and of course, a lot of time and opportunity to carry out maintenance, which would otherwise be impossible to do while the ship is running or during short stays in port. During our long port stay, we were able to overhaul one piston of the main engine, two exhaust valves, all the fuel injectors and starting air valves, and managed to do a lot of other tasks that were pending because we didn't have the opportunity to do them previously due to short port stays. On board ships, you must be able to look at things from all angles and find opportunities even in unfavorable situations. It's the same for ports that have limited capabilities. On board ships, you must make the most of whatever you have and seize every opportunity when it comes your way. Those 2 weeks in port breezed by very quickly, and soon we found ourselves underway to our discharging port all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. But unlike before, instead of going down the Magellan Strait, we now had to transit the Panama Canal. But that's a story for the next episode. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.